Right. What is up, everybody? This is going to be a super quick and dirty stream here, but if you don't know, the Keyforge Premier League, which is a pretty long-standing league on the Keyforge Discords, just started a couple days ago, and it is blazing through. But these are some super high level matches, really cool decks, really cool stuff going on. So there's actually a group of us that are trying to just get a few games captured on stream here. Today we're going to be doing, I believe it is Dave Cordero versus Lazarus is my guess. So let's see. And I have not taken a look at the decks that people are running yet. Let me see if there's a good document here showing some of that. I'm going to go ahead and get us full screen here, make sure things are looking good. So we've got Dave Cordero. This is just our decks, not our matchups. So I'm not sure if this one will help us. Let's go ahead and just make sure we don't miss start of the game. Still waiting on Lazarus, it looks like, so we got a little bit of time. And sorry, I'm not super prepared again. This is kind of last minute, but since these have been best of one games, we are they're popping off really fast. It's been a lot of kind of popcorn type. Oh, it's just Laz. It's not Lazarus. Okay, so I don't know. I don't know Laz. But they made it into KFPL, so they're doing something right. And I was gonna say, Murph, I know you're in the chat. I don't know if you actually have a better doc I could look at their decks, but if the game is good to start, we'll just look at it on there. Sweet. Okay, so we've got Dave is running Hydra Veil. So if you haven't seen, this is one of Dave's just incredible decks. Triple stealth mode with punctuated equilibrium and a couple Kirby's. The goal of this deck, from what I've seen, is basically to just try and get into a cycle where you're playing one stealth mode a turn, and you can just do that almost indefinitely until they can deal with your board. Laz over here on some AoA goodness. I always love AoA, and this just looks like value deck. We've got Bouncing Death Quark with a couple Researchers and Eureka. No Brig combo. We do have Ronnie, Miasma. It's got Lash and Library, which is always a very good combination for just kind of like slowing the game down until you can build up to the big turns, especially the Too Much to Protect and Ronnie, just to kind of get that going. What'd you got for me, Murph? Oh, there's the decks. Okay. Well, since the game is going, maybe we'll take a look at that afterwards. But thanks for that. I know there's a lot of information all over that Discord. Super fast start here for Dave already, and this is a scary position for Laz. Dave's deck getting spears to go off could be huge, but it looks like, yeah, we'll see if Laz can deal with it right now. What do we have in shadows? Best thing they could do is Snecklift or something off the top. Instead, they just go for killing the daughter, which is still a good hit for sure. But leaving that spears. I'm sorry, Sneklifter only takes artifacts. It's not the one. I was thinking of whichever one plays something off the top of the deck. So yeah, no answer to the spears here could be super painful for Laz. We'll see if Dave can get into some of those combo pieces. But this is not the start you want to see Hydra Veil have if you're playing against it. So interesting to see. We'll see what was archived here. It is interesting to see the Nerf Blast go out already, because that is one of those cards you can use to combo with the Too Much to Protect if you get that kind of Lash and Library going. And they must have taken the archives from the ZYX2 for that turn, because they only have one in archives right now. Let's see. When we missed what Dave. Sorry, again, they're playing fast, and I think this is how a lot of these games have been going. Lots of players that know their decks really well. Their decks are really good and really fast, and they're playing well and fast. So this could just be. I'm gonna try and keep up, but we'll see. Have to root for the AOA here. I would consider the AOA the underdog. I do think if both of these artifacts can get out, there's some things this deck can do, but I mean, letting the spears reap twice now, Dave is just going to be getting all the cards he needs, and you know those stealth modes are really going to slow down. There's not a ton of creature control in here. Got 3 fates, got the bouncing death quirk, standardized testing. So really, it's going to have to be a lot of fighting. But against these wards, it's just not even worth it. So yeah, definitely stealth mode there is brutal. But I mean, he's only played one. He's reaped with spears twice. There's a good chance he's got at least one more in hand. So he might just be able to chain those out turn after turn. Especially if we see the Kirby come down sometime soon. But we do get into check here for Laz, and what does Hydra Veil have for Amber Control? We do have Garcia that could come down if he goes back into Star Alliance. The 2 Shadows creatures here do mean there's a small chance of killing the spears next turn, especially with the special delivery. I think that's something that Dave's deck doesn't necessarily want to see. There's a lot of small, valuable creatures. We do see the discarded too much to protect there. I think it's a really tough choice for Laz, but probably the right one. Just cycle, try and get as many of these artifacts and creatures on the board as you can, just to have a chance of clearing off some of this Star Alliance stuff. But we'll see. I mean, if Dave finds the Kirby, there's a chance he gets to clear out some of this board as well instead of using the punctuated equilibrium. But I mean, PE here would be really brutal. Oh, the remote access. Is that in Hydra Veil? I didn't even check on that. We don't see Kirby. That's actually huge. That could buy a turn, and we don't see another stealth mode. So really, that is not the turn Dave was probably hoping for there. And this could give a really big opening for Laz to at least deal with some of this board. The wards are not fun. Welcome, Zeramis. Yeah, it's gonna be a fast one. I gotta get back to work after doing this, but again, they just been popping these games off so fast. We're just gonna have to be a little bit flexible as casters here to catch some of them. Okay, so we do see the lash coming down. This turn does mean that the Schuler probably is not going to be able to kill some of these unless we get a 3 fates also. But we'll see. 3 fates doesn't hit the spears though. What else do we have in here? We got the banish, so we could just see it getting put into the archives. That's okay, Zeramis. I know the time difference is tough too for some of our stuff. Like if I'm doing later afternoon or evening here, it's not exactly optimal for European watchers. But if you ever want to go check out some VODs and stuff, it is there. Don't you start with that. Never mind. Don't even follow. Throwing copy pastas in my stream. I don't even have like 10 followers, and you're copy pastaing me. Come on. And if we've seen anything, DT is struggling in this format so far. I know there's still some left that could go far, but it's been a rough start for sure for DT in the KFPL from what I've seen. Okay, and so we do see the spears getting taken out there by a fight and then call the weak, which is again not the way you want to see your resources used there if you're Laz, but it does give a chance for some stuff to get put on the outside for this special delivery to hit. We are going back into Star Alliance anyways though, so you kind of have to imagine we're going to see a stealth mode and probably that punctuated equilibrium here just to try and cycle back into spears, the other stealth mode, and just kind of get that cycle going. Yep, there it is, and it does now show. I think this was done recently, right? Where it actually shows what was discarded, which is a huge improvement to TCO. So thank you, Cryogen, I'm guessing, is the one who implemented that, but that's a very big improvement there to be able to see what was discarded by the punctuated equilibrium. We do see that stealth mode come down, so that's the second one of the game. With most of Dave's decks, it's kind of a game to see how many times you can say the name of one card, because Dave is all about either having 5 copies of a card or playing a card many more than 5 times. And this one is all about those stealth modes, so we'll see how many times it goes off here. But the Star Alliance line is getting pretty scary, especially with the stealth mode now. We do have the Eddy out in the open, and the ward has already been used from the medic, so that Eddy could just be getting purged here by the special delivery. But I think if you're Dave, you don't mind that too much, because that's about the last of the creature control they're going to get to use this game outside of fighting, so we'll see. And you get the speed off the archiving. Not quite enough to cycle here. Well, I guess they will at the end of turn, but they didn't cycle with the PE, which is kind of a big deal. What do we have discarded over here? Honestly, nothing too crazy. If you're Laz, I don't think you're like super concerned about seeing this go. I think actually this Ember Imp could be something just that you can force Dave to have to deal with to slow down the Star Alliance line a little bit, but it's not much, right? Like, you kind of have to get a little bit more out there. It looks like we're getting a little bit of disconnectivity issues from Laz. If they're coming in from China or wherever, I know that can be an issue sometimes, but it seems like they're doing okay so far. So what other options does Laz have here? Again, the stealth mode is active, so there's a lot of things that we're not going to be able to see. I think really needs to find things like the Brain Eater. Yeah, I don't know. It's a really tough spot for Laz here. They don't have like a big creature line. They don't have a ton of ways to fight effectively. So if we start getting the stealth modes every turn here, that could just be the game, which again is basically what Hydrovale is trying to do anyways. But a very good start from Dave just to help with that, getting that early spears to start that cycling really early. So a little bit more connectivity issues with Laz here. Hopefully they can get back on. You never want to win off of just something like that, but we will see. Could see a collar too. It doesn't help a ton, but even collaring like the Eddy here could do some damage, and that's again one of the few things that isn't affected by the stealth mode. So that's actually, that attacks for 2 as well, so that would stop this key. I guess if you go into dis anyways, you can do some archiving and lashing to stop the key, but we'll see. See if he makes it back in here. I also, like, I was in the middle of eating lunch when they asked if I wanted to stream. So I kind of just want to reach over and start grabbing this stuff and chowing down, but I don't think you all would appreciate that too much, so trying to hold off. Looks like another refresh here for Laz. Hopefully, again, never want someone to have to for the game to be decided by connectivity issues, right? So we'll try and give them some time here just to get this figured out, but I don't see a ton of great options for them going forward. Again, they can do some stuff with the dis to try and hold off this key, but with those stealth modes, there's really not much of a payoff, aside from the Ronnie, which I don't think we've seen yet. Yeah, so we could see Ronnie. Opts to go Logos. So that means they're probably not stopping the key here. Let me see. Yeah, so we could see the Brain Eater come down, which is just, again, one of those things that if you're going to have a chance of fighting this board off, you need the Brain Eater to do it. Looks like we are going to see the special delivery hitting the Eddy. I get that totally not a bad play. I do think there's some options there for throwing it other places, but you might just grab the Kirby just to stop some of that action cheating with the Collar of Subordination. So we'll see. We should be seeing that soon because we haven't seen it in the discard yet. Could be one of the things in Archive. But this is going to be a key for Dave. We do have some more creatures down for Laz, which will be very helpful for them if they want to try and start picking away at this board. But this Molina, itself is a problem, right? Because these guys can't fight effectively into these wards. So we might see the Kirby go down next turn, but I think it's a really tough position for Laz. We'll see what they can do. And yeah, sorry, Fudge, I do not have any extensions. I talked to Sky Jedi a while back when I first did the Fire Sale Frenzy streams, and I think he told me after that he got it set up, but I need to go back in and find those settings to make it like a moderator and stuff. So if you just put an actual link in there, I can keep you from being banned. And unsurprisingly, Dave is going back into Star Alliance here. We have a second Kirby coming down and getting warded. We're going to see just a full board of Reaps here because there's not really a reason not to at this point. I do have it. Okay. I'll get it in there at some point. I need to work on a lot of settings. Oof. Okay. So no stealth mode, which is actually pretty notable there, but Phlox'em off of the CXO Tabor. We've got the Finger Trap off of one of the Kirby's. And the Wild Wormhole played the Finger Trap. Interesting. Was there anything off of the second Kirby? I might have missed that. If this makes you a mod and you just start like making all of my emotes DT best set, I'm gonna be so upset. Although that would be hilarious if you were actually like knew how to do like coding or whatever and could do that. But we'll see if that works. Do you want to? I can just copy this again. Oh, there you go. You got it. All right, and there's the GG. Laz going back into Logos to try and do some fighting of that Star Alliance board, but again, just not much you could do there. So I'm gonna go ahead and look at that sheet you linked. Does that one have? That one's got the decks on it, but does it have the matchups? Murph. Like, do we know where we are? I don't know where we're at in all of this. So so that was Dave. We just saw Hydra Veil. So that means Dave probably still has. He's still on deck 1 for group 3, if I'm reading this right. But I mean, Hydra Veil has a good chance of sticking around for quite a while. It's a tough deck to get past without kind of the right combination of things. And let's go find. Oh, there's so many people. Laz, and that was Maestro. Okay, so Maestro just went down. Let's go ahead and just double check that that's the right deck. Yeah. So Laz should be now onto their second deck for group 3. And Zeramis, I didn't post it because I literally got this set up and running in like 3 minutes. I'll definitely try to be better about that next time. And hopefully, like, my goal is I'm going to post something for the weekend and just see how many people I can get. Like, if I'm just streaming for like 4 hours on Saturday, just see if I can get a lot of people doing some matches during that time and just try to cover that. But I need to post about that. Anyways, thank you all for coming in here and watching. Again, I kind of should probably get back to work. Really fun though, really cool to get to see some of these decks in action, which is why I want to do this in general. Like, these are going to be the cream of the crop decks, best players in the game right now. It is best of 1, which can be a little pretty swingy, but we also love that a bit about Keyforge. So should be fun. Yeah, I mean, the production value is like it. The thing is, they've just been scheduling these games so quickly. Like, it's just like, hey, are you available now? Yes, let's play our game, because the games only take, what was that, like 15 minutes at most. Oh, like just getting Keyforge streams into other places where just like game streams are being casted. Yeah, there's so much of that kind of stuff. I need to spend time on it, and Yeah, I think YouTube is kind of how a lot of games like this get streamer bases. Is you have to kind of get people seeing the YouTube stuff first, and then they find you as a streamer is probably more common. Uh, but my production value for YouTube is trash, so I'm not gonna be the one pulling people in there. Um, Well, anyways, thank you all again so much for hopping on. I doubt I'll be able to do this again today, but we'll see. Work is kind of slow for me today, so maybe I can hop over and do some things. But glad we got one in, and hopefully this sets a precedence for just some other of these popping off throughout the next couple days. So we'll see you all later. Thanks again.